Hi, this is Greg Camp of Smash Mouth, and you are one lucky motherfucker because you're listening to Brigade-Radio-One.
You're listening to Brigade-Radio-One. All right, welcome to another episode of Combat Radio. Before we get going, a couple of new bits of news and notes on us. Some interesting things coming up. A broadcast with Blue Oyster Cult. You know, more cowbell coming your way this week. Just wrapped a broadcast with the Marshall Tucker Band and several other pretty exotic rock acts, all in the name of a good cause. You can find a lot of that on the YouTube page, as well as some new show highlights and some other bits of craziness, including some stuff, you know, from our work with, Oscar-nominated producer Leon Vitali, with Stanley Kubrick, and some other interesting personalities who've come through recently. It's all good. I've got some other fun things coming our way. Actually, we've just laid down a new audio track on The Empire Strikes Back, of all movies, with the FX and production, Oscar-nominated FX production and art crew. We also did Tron, we did Star Wars, and we did Cabin Boy, for those people who have been screaming for it. You didn't ask for it, but we gave it to you anyway. So some good audio tracks coming out on some new movies from us and some of the talent on board. You're going to like today's show. Most of it will be at my expense. But two of our favorites are back in studio. One is David Nichols. You know him from his work on Evening Shade and such other epic projects. Not Dharma and Greg, though. That's always the miscredit.
I know. I'm happy to take credit for
Crash
Dharma
and Bernstein
Greg.
with the
Yes,
puppet.
Right.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be here.
And he's one of our favorites, although this is always the Bataan Death March of radio for him. He hates us in every which way possible. Usually refers to me as a sociopath on good days, and that's producer Rodney Barnes. Rodney, how are you?
I'm great. How are you, Ethan?
Good. You're looking for the exit already?
No. I just see freedom outside of this window.
Yes, freedom.
I want to play with all of those people.
For Rod, this studio is Alcatraz. He's looking out at the water and the prison bars and saying, "Why am I here?" He actually confessed.
Office.
He's like, "I'm doing the show today, so you don't ask for a while because you're kind of like a what did you call me? A sociopath?"
No, I said you're like a Terminator. You're relentless. You can't be reasoned with.
I can't be reasoned with. Like,
you
obviously,
it's
a radio jihad. Obviously, there's no logic to be applied. It's just, you know what it is. You should feel. There's people out there that are, and this actually has happened. Who've dropped me notes going, you know, I've been waiting for the call. Been looking at my phone for years. That was never you. It's interesting that your dilemma is this guy won't stop bothering me to be on this show.
I wouldn't call it bother. Bother is a stretch.
Yeah.
You're persistent.
It's the Iron Maiden of radio.
Yeah.
I get it. Hey, you worked on the Oscars. You've been posting some stuff about it with Chris Rock. Loved your work. You just wrapped American Gods, which I want to talk about because I tried to watch it in your honor. More than once, the people we work with in radio has led us to a certain show. And I know you're getting. Are we allowed to even talk about what you're doing in April, or is it secret?
The Wu-Tang? Yeah. Wu-Tang's a real
I'd
thing.
like to hear about that.
We
talked about it right before the show. I'd like to hear about it.
Yeah, happy to.
I want to hear about that as well. We'll get to that momentarily. You're also the author of a bunch of really cool solo comics, most of which we auctioned off at Christmas for social services, signed by you. So that was actually a very cool gift. See, you know, we like you. You may hate us.
I
Rodney,
don't hate.
we
When you
like
say us, you make it like it's other people other than you.
Well,
there's a group of people I don't like that are next to you.
Well, like any sort of mentally deranged radio host, there's other personalities in my mind helping govern a show forward. But in your honor, and I've done this in the past, not just with you, you worked on Runaways as well.
I did.
And you were actually set to do season 2 of Vinyl before it got dropped.
This is true, too. You got a great memory.
Yeah, that's too bad for you, my friend. But I decided I'm going to watch American Gods out of respect for Rodney. And I know you just worked on season 2 of it, right?
Yes, we just did season 2.
So I put on season 1. Oh, no, excuse me. I put on season 2, episode 1.
Yes.
And I go, let's see what this show's about. We love Rodney. He hates us, but we love him.
Here we go.
And I have got to tell you, you're super smart. There's huge talent on that show. And maybe I'm the 1% of, you know, the biker 1% crazy. What the fuck is that show about? I could not get my head around it. And am I...
It's a little you, but it's also the nature of the show. It's the old gods versus the new gods.
Right.
Like the gods have come to America to find worshipers. Like America is sort of the epicenter of communication, and it's on the cusp of the thing. Like, you know, we're what's happening in the world, so all the gods want to come here. So you have the old gods like Odin and Anansi and Bilquis and all of these gods from history, but you have new gods like technology and money and Mr. World and just the new idea of what gods are. And the new gods want to vanquish the old gods so that they can have worship of everyone.
Now, already you make the show sound better than what I watched. That's a very, very cool explanation. If you were in the room selling that, but pre my vision of the thing, I'd totally buy it.
I must say I absolutely agree with both of you guys.
Yeah.
that I tried. I'm sorry, tried to watch it.
Did
sounds
you? Okay,
sounds
yes.
bad, but I did start to watch it, and I also got a little confused.
Yes.
But yes, the way you just explained it, makes perfect sense, and I think is a real reflection of what really is going on in our world.
Well, don't drink a half a bottle of tequila and watch this show.
No, I think it's more,
Or do.
Neil Gaiman, much like Anne Rice, when their literature, it's very dense. It's it really is more of a slow burn that you have to sort of attach yourself to in a particular way, that you're not looking for the particular plot-driven,
Right.
like beat to beat to beat that runs in sequentially. This can run sideways from time to time, and it can stop, and it can lay in a certain place. And if you're accustomed to The Walking Dead, and you kind of know exactly who everybody is and why they're doing what they're doing, and it's a different kind of show.
Let me ask you, the cast on that show. There's some elaborate players. Ian McShane, who goes all the way back to the Battle of Britain, and
Deadwood,
obviously
making
Deadwood.
a Deadwood movie now.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, he, it's funny because some people thought that Deadwood was his first job, but the guy had been acting
No,
for like 3
80
decades
years
prior
old.
to that. Yeah. And you got
John Wick. I think he's in John Wick.
He is in John Wick.
Yeah, he's in John Wick.
Where everyone is an assassin. I didn't realize that 1/3 of society is assassins.
Yeah, well,
Apparently John Wick proved that every third person is part of a secret assassination
And there are
cult.
3 of us here in this room, so who is it?
It's me,
it's you.
obviously.
Oh,
It's
it's
me,
you.
obviously.
it's you. That's the easy
Kill
one.
people
Yeah,
with radio
please.
and text messages.
Yes, I'll explode
Rod has
on
been-
the elevator.
Ron has been dodging radio bullets
Right,
for
that's right.
years and years.
You better subscribe to this channel before you look uncool.